This is a pretty good exercise right here. And I'm going to teach you a little trick to make all the formulas in this chapter and the next chapter pretty easy. There's a lot of formulas, and the trick to doing word problems is to think of the right formula, then you plug in the numbers that they give you, and you solve for the missing number. Students really get lost and they panic, but if you just calm down and think, what formula do I need? What is the variable in the formula that I'm trying to solve for? And where are the other variables? Because we can't ask you to solve for something without giving you all the variables except for the one missing one. It's a standard college question. Find a missing number. First, you got to identify the formula. Now, I'm going to teach you 3 formulas. Remember that every T account is also a formula. In cost accounting, we have 3 new accounts to introduce to you. 3 inventory accounts. Here's one. Raw materials inventory. It's an asset account, so it has a debit balance. That means the plus sign goes on the debit side. Here's the formula. The beginning balance would be in that position, and the ending balance would be in that position. When do we debit this account? Every time we purchase. So purchases. And when do we credit this account? Whenever we use. Think of this as a building of materials. When new materials come in, we debit this account. When materials exit, we credit this account. And where do they go when they exit? They go to another building. We'll call this building work in process. Work in process is also an asset account. So the beginning balance would be in that position. The ending balance would be also a debit. We debit this account for the 3 product costs: direct material, direct labor, and factory overhead. When we finish a product, we just arbitrarily assign a little factory overhead. That's where all of our future accounting errors are going to be, in that factory overhead. Okay, so when do we credit this account? Well, whenever we finish something that we've been working on, we roll it out of this building and we credit cost of goods manufactured. And where does it go to? It goes to a 3rd building. We'll call this finished goods. Goods means inventory. Finished goods inventory. So that's redundant, but that's what they call it. It has a debit balance. That means the beginning balance would be in that position. We debit this account whenever somebody rolls in the new finished inventory. So we debit this account for a number that is called cost of goods manufactured. See, it leaves the work in process building and moves over to the finished goods inventory. And that's the journal entry to debit cost of goods manufactured and credit cost of goods manufactured. Actually, the account names are: we debit finished goods inventory and we credit work in process for the amount that is named cost of goods manufactured. The ending balance would be here. Now, when would we credit this account? Well, whenever we sell, and that would be cost of goods sold. So cost of goods manufactured is the name of a number of the cost of what we have produced. And that same number, not the same number, but when we sell it, we subtract it, and that's called cost of goods sold. If you remember these 3 formulas, so much of the homework in this chapter and the next will be very, very easy. Now I'm gonna skip the first one because that's easy, and it's sort of aside the points that I've been making here. What I want to do is go down the list and insert the numbers they gave us. Let's see. Skip that one and that one because that pertains to question A. Cost of goods manufactured. Where does that go? It goes right here. 169,200. 169,200. 200. Indirect labor, where does that go? That goes under factory overhead. 73430. Factory depreciation, that's also factory overhead. 11170. Materials purchased. That goes right here, 104230. Total manufacturing cost this period. Okay, this is the tricky one. That means the sum of all this is the trickiest one here, is 19450. So put a little star on this one. Materials inventory at the end, 13870. That's all the given variables. What are the 4 questions? Question B, finished goods inventory. That's this number. Let's label it B. We're going to be looking for that. And question C, direct materials cost. Now the author is not clear in his language here. He should have said direct materials used, because cost could have been construed to be purchases. Well, he meant direct materials used, and so we'll label that letter C. And letter D here, direct labor, letter D. Work in process inventory at the end. That's letter E. Let me change colors. I'm not going to finish this. I'm going to let you do it, but I'm going to give you a few hints. This is like a crossword puzzle. Where do you start? Well, the answer is wherever you can. The beginning balances are all going to be 0. How do I know that? It's very typical in the textbook world for the business or the problem to be the first year of a company. It simplifies the problem. Let's see. This work in process is going to be the hardest, so we're going to have to do that last. I would say you've got 0 plus 104 minus the 13 equals, so do this and put it there. Then I would calculate finished goods. I would say 0 plus 169. Oh, and you need to go back up here to calculate your cost of goods sold, which is basically your sales minus cost of goods sold equals gross profit. They gave us the sales, 338,400 right here, and they gave us the gross profit of 197,290. So you have to calculate this, put it up there, and then you can get this, the ending finished goods inventory. I'll let you finish that. But these 3 accounts help you to organize your thoughts and so that you can not get lost in these problems. There you go.